G'day viewers, it's time for a quick tutorial on the ES44AC on Horseshoe curve. Let's get in and do this. Okay, very first thing we want to do is turn on banking comm. You do that pressing the DISP button on the radio. Banking comm simulates another crew in the rear loco set down the back. Some routes use PTT to turn it on, Horseshoe curve uses DISP in both locos. The next thing we're going to do is put the reverser in, and we're going to set our headlights to dim just to let other crews know this train is occupied. And we'll turn on our gauge lights and our crosswork lights. And we should have number lights over here somewhere. There they are. We don't need to change anything else on that panel at this time. Next up, the brakes aren't cut in, but I'm going to apply the independent brake, which will actually do that. And I'm going to release the automatic train brake because that will let our equalizing reservoir, or ER, charge up, which it now is. And that just means the train will charge up quicker when we get going. Now, these services are set so the train's already charged. That's why the brake pipe's at 80. So, first up, air brake. So I press the 1 key. Then I'm going to do cut in out, which is F3 to set the brake to cut in. And then I'll set it to lead with F4. Save my changes with F6 and exit with F8. Now that's just configured the brake so that we're in charge and we're the lead loco. Now what I want to do now before I do anything else is pop this into forward, and I'm going to use, I'm on PC so I'll use the 3 key, but you can use your controller if you like. I want to go down to the first of the rear locos. I want to have a look in the window and I can see that my reverser is in there. So that means that our banking comm is actually working, which is good. We're also rolling backwards, which is not good because we've released the brakes. So gen field on, and let's set up a bit of power. Let's go up to notch 3 because we are on quite a slope here. And now I'll release the independent brake because we are starting to power. I did see the green bar starting to move before I released the independent brake. I should have talked that through for you. Couple of big blasts on the horn. In fact, let's hear that from outside. It's a cool horn. We've got the signal, so off we go. Now we are heading uphill here, so it will take a little while to build up some speed. Now normally I'd just leave it sit in notch 3 until things settle down and we build up some speed. But because this is a tutorial, I want to get this going a little bit quicker so I can show you the next things. Because I want to get up to about 10 mile an hour, and then I'll show you the dynamic braking. And after I've shown you the dynamic braking, I'll show you how to stop the train with the automatic train brake, and I'll also show you how to reset from an emergency situation. Alright, so we've built up some speed. I'll just throttle back to 0 now. And throttle off to idle. Once we hear the revs come down, we'll go into setup on the dynamics. We're already losing speed because of the slope. Let's just give it some dynamic braking and we'll see that take effect. You can see on the power meter up here we're starting to develop a little yellow bar. And then we are very much slowing down, so that's how you do the dynamics. You just move that from lowest up to 8, the highest. Let's just cut those off now. We'll just let the train settle down. And there we go, effort's gone back to 0, and we will throttle back up. Now you want to do this nice and gently, no big sudden moves. Just let us build up a little bit more speed again. It'll take a little while for the back of the train to recover. I did just notice that in this one, the end of train device thinks we're not moving, but of course we are. So normally that should say EOTD move. Alright, so we've built up a little bit more speed. Now applying the brakes, you can do it just a little bit, so let's go to minimum reduction. And you'll immediately see that starting to take effect. The brake cylinder pressure is coming up, brake pipe pressure is dropped, and we're really working against our throttle now, so I'm still powering at the moment, which is a bit of a no-no, but I just want to show you what's happening. Alright, so let's release that. So that would stop the train if we left it there. If you're on a slope going downhill, you'll need to apply more, and you can take it all the way up to full service. Oh, that'll do. Let's go to emergency now. So emergency drops the brake pipe to 0 straight away, and our reservoirs to 0. And the brake cylinder is going up and up and up, and it's going to stop us. Alright, so let's reset our way out of that. Back to idle, back to neutral, fully apply the independent brake. Just wait a moment for things to calm down, and then we can release the train brake, and that will start charging up the train. So you can see it's already starting to build up brake pressure. The brake pipe up here is climbing up. That's got to get up to 80 or so. Our equalizing reservoir is already back up to 90. Main reservoir is happily chunkling up there at 139. And there the rear has started to charge now as well. So now that we've seen that those pressures are starting to go up, we can go back into forwards. We're not going to be able to move for quite a while because it has to charge. The rear has to get to probably at least about 65 to 70 pounds before the brakes down the back will actually come off. And if you try and move before then, well, good luck. You might put an awful lot of power into it, and if the game simulated it, you'd probably just rip a couple off. But this game doesn't do that. That's another one. So we'll leave that building up, but that's basically it. That's pretty much everything you need to know to run and drive this one. I'll do a separate tutorial on loading coal as well, because that takes quite a different technique. Alrighty, I'm not going to make you sit here and wait for that to charge up, so thanks a lot for watching. If you've got any comments or questions, just chuck them in the comment section and I will get back to you. Thanks a lot. See you later. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I always like to get your feedback in the form of likes and comments because they help me understand what you want. Give the channel a subscribe and click on the tinkly things so you don't miss out on any new stuff. And thanks for your ongoing support. And please, be safe out there.